Hi everyone, it's Tiffany from Blue Lotus Mind here, and today I want to talk about manifesting. So manifesting seems to be this crazy thing that people just can't figure out. And having manifested things quite quickly for myself a number of times, I just wanted to share what I typically see with clients that stops them from manifesting the things that they really want. So I'll just give you an example of my story real quick so that you can see how I manifest in my everyday life. Now, manifesting is an interesting thing because things don't always show up the way that we want them to. So at the beginning of the year, I started working with this fabulous woman named Pat Bailey, and I wanted to start to build my brand Blue Lotus Mind. And I specifically wanted to start building this brand in Canada so that I could travel home from Australia to Canada to see my family once or multiple times a year and be doing so on the business dime instead of my own personal dime. So I set this intention with Pat at the beginning of the year that I was going to manifest expanding my brand to Canada. Now, at the time that I set this intention, I kind of had in my head that it would take me between 2 and 5 years to set this up. And as part of that process, I didn't envision myself moving back to Canada. Now, it has been less than 12 months since I set that goal to move home, and at the time of filming this, I have less than 50 days left in Australia before I move home to Canada. So typically what I've noticed in my life is that when I really commit to a goal and I really decide that I'm going to make it happen, I generally tell myself it's going to take a year or two to happen, and it typically happens within less than 12 months. That's how quickly things happen for me. Now, it hasn't always been good things that I have manifested. So an example of some bad things that I manifested was before I started doing any work on myself and really getting mindful about my language that I used and the thoughts that I allowed into my head. I was dating a guy, and I actually said to him on numerous occasions, I think, I'm worried that you'll outgrow me. I'm worried that you'll find somebody else, and a whole bunch of other comments to that effect. And when I wasn't saying it to him, I was having dreams that would happen. I just really had this belief that he was going to leave me and find somebody else. About 3 years into our relationship, he found somebody else and cheated on me. So that was something that I manifested. Now, I'm not excusing his role in that or excusing his behavior, but it very much is something that I put out there to the universe to happen. So that brings me to my 4 points that stop us from manifesting the life that we want to have. The first point is that we are always manifesting. So we manifest good things and we can manifest bad things just as easily as the good things. So this is where understanding your thought patterns and your language and how both of them impact what you put out to the universe and how you change your brain and your mindset is the first step to manifesting anything. So if you're using negative language or you're having negative thought patterns, it's the thing that you give energy to that you're going to give birth to. So if I focus all of my energy on something bad, then that bad thing is going to happen. I used to do this with money as well. I would get a really big paycheck and would have a whole bunch of bills to pay, and I'd be like, I might hold off on paying any of those bills just in case something happens and I need a little bit of money. Now, the times when I had that thought, I can guarantee you something happened where I would need to use the money that I should have used to pay my bills on something else. My car would break down. I've had my purse stolen and lost a whole bunch of money. I had my passport stolen right before I went overseas, so paying for an emergency passport is super expensive. Those are just some examples. So you are manifesting all the time. You are always putting things out to the universe and to your reticular activating system, the filtering system in your brain. And so if you're giving energy to good things, you'll create good things. And if you give energy to negative things, you'll create negative things. The second thing that stops us from manifesting is that we have limiting beliefs or fears. So this is the case for most people, is that they want to make more money, for example, but they don't believe that they're worthy of making more money. There was a study done by an Australian company called Seek.com a couple years ago where they posted the exact same job ad for, I think it was like an accounting position or something, but it was the exact same job ad. There was no differences in the job ad except for the remuneration package. So one job ad said the job paid $50,000 a year, and one job ad said that the job paid $150,000 a year. And other than that, everything was identical. Now, more people, 90% of people, only applied for the $50,000 ad. Only 10% of the people applied for both. So that just goes to show how deep our limiting beliefs can go. So we are, continually programmed to create the life that we believe that we deserve. This happens in relationships as well. I hear clients all the time telling me how they want to find a loving, respectful partner, but they have beliefs underneath everything. Obviously, a lot of these beliefs are unconscious, but they have these beliefs that they're not worthy or they don't deserve that. So we accept the life, we accept the money, and we accept the love that we think we deserve. John DeMartini has been quoted saying that you can't become something until you believe you already are that. So I couldn't become successful if I didn't already believe that I was successful. I couldn't get up on stage and do all my presenting and workshops if I didn't believe that I already was a presenter. So we need to switch our beliefs that we have about ourselves if we want to start manifesting things. Number 3 is that we are not specific enough. So we say that we want something and we put out kind of a vague idea. I've worked in the health and fitness industry for the last 17 years, and the number one goal that I hear people say is, I want to be healthier. What does that mean? If you don't specify exactly what that means to you, then how do you know that you've actually got it? Or I hear people say, I want more money. How much? Because if you find a penny on the street, technically you have more money. The universe has delivered and manifested what you've asked for, but you weren't specific enough, so you didn't get exactly what you were wanting. This happens in relationships. When I work with clients who are looking for their ideal partner, I actually get them to create a list of all the attributes that they want in their partner, and I get them to be as specific as possible. I actually tell them they have to put down 60 things on that list, 60. So that's from height, if they want somebody who's blonde or brunette, if they want somebody who's 6'1". I also tell them to specify that, if they're a female, that they want a male, if, they are heterosexual, or that they want a female if they're a lesbian. And you have to be specific, because I've also seen people do these lists where they create this list of this amazing person that they want to meet, and then they meet that person, but it becomes their best friend because they haven't said that they want that person to be the gender that they're seeking in a relationship. I also encourage my clients to write down that they want the person they meet to be single, because I've also seen it happen where people will make these lists, specify that they want a male, say, and then they'll meet a married man. So you need to be as specific as possible, because that's what the universe is going to give you. And the universe has a bit of a sense of humor, so if you're not specific, the universe will give you something else, but still something that you asked for. The last thing that stops us from manifesting exactly what we want is that we're not in the right environment for it. So studies have shown that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So and this is in all areas of your life. This is in relationships, in health, in your money, in your career, in your relationship. You are the average. So you will have some friends who make more money than you, and you will have some friends who make less money than you, and you will be there in the middle. You'll have some friends who have better relationships than you, or family members, and some that have worse than you, and you will be in the middle. Now, what I'm absolutely not suggesting is that you go out and you fire everyone in your life because you're not getting what you want. I'm simply suggesting that you raise the average and you find people in your life, or find new people to join your life, who are going to take that average forward. Because while you're the direct average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, everyone who's in your life you are an average of in some way. So just expand your circle, bring more people into your circle. What I've found is since I've joined Pat Bailey's Hell Yes Academy group, which is this beautiful manifesting space for people all over the world, because I'm in that circle of people who manifest quickly and who go after their dreams and who believe in themselves, and they provide support and confidence building to everyone else to believe in themselves, that my manifesting rate is becoming a lot more specific and a lot faster. So I've expanded my circle. There have been people who have dropped away. To be fair, I will admit to that, but the people who have dropped away were people who were fairly toxic in my life anyways. So the circle that I have now is creating a very good average for me for where I want to be at this time. Now, there's kind of a 5th point. It's not really a point, but it's just a suggestion to keep in mind when you are manifesting, is that sometimes the universe delivers in a way that we don't expect. So we get what we've asked for, but it doesn't come in the box that we're expecting it to come in, and so we don't notice it. Now, this is what's happened for me, because when I manifested that I wanted to be able to see my family more, and the way that I was going to do that was just expanding my business so I could travel to Canada 2 times a year. What's happened instead is the opportunity has arisen for me to actually just move home so that I'm right down the street from my family. And so that wasn't necessarily what I thought was going to happen when I manifested it. When I started manifesting this goal, I couldn't be happier that that is how things have played out and that's what my future holds. But just keep in mind that sometimes things come in a slightly different way than what you ask for. But usually that way is better if you've been specific. So I hope that these 4 or 5 tips will help you in your manifesting journey. And please comment below and let me know what you're manifesting, so that I can help manifest it alongside you. If you have any questions at all, or you want to talk more and delve more into the fears and limiting beliefs side of things, I will pop my contact details up at the end of this video. Have a great day.